All right. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube. A little early this morning. Coffee in hand, as usual. Give the gang a couple of minutes to catch up. A little early this morning because I didn't take my bike ride, because yesterday on my bike ride, about 4.7 miles into my 11-mile course, flat tire. So got to walk back and have the tire in the car today to get that repaired. Not that I couldn't do it myself, but I think my time is better spent elsewhere. So I'll take that over, drop it off up at AG's today, get that fixed. Hopefully I can pick it up tonight and only be out one day. So get back on the bike, back on the regular schedule, but all is well, all is well. So today's stream, more jobs than people to fill them. So I'll report, this is from CNBC. Says there are 6.7 million job openings and just 6.4 million available workers. That has really, from what I can tell, never happened before. Pretty much never happened before. It's been years. But that is a remarkable thing. And, it's, I put down there, Make America Great Again? Don't know. I think it is. I think it is. And the interesting thing is the critics will tell you that, oh yeah, but they're all, the wages haven't gone up. Wages have only gone up by, 2% or something, and they'll scream bloody murder because the wages are not keeping up. They're low paying jobs. Well, I mean, you want to talk about wage stagnation? We can look at that over the last decade plus, and with literally 1%, 2% GDP at best, never reaching 3% GDP in that time period. A massive loss of the workforce. Just millions of people out of or underemployed, and the jobs that the previous administration boasted about creating were in large part-time jobs and also low-paying jobs. What they miss in the analysis is the fact that the economy is growing. We are looking at that. I heard an analyst the other day said the next GDP figures that come out, we could be looking at just under 5% GDP, and that is a staggering shot to the economy, as opposed to what we've been seeing. And it's something that I said early on in this. I said when we were talking about the tax cut pre-election, I said, the drop in the corporate rate at the time, they were talking about 15%. I think we ended up at about 20%. But dropping that corporate rate that much, that alone will put us at in the neighborhood of 4 to 5% GDP. And lo and behold, here we are. So it's not rocket science, folks. It's not it doesn't take that much to figure it out. That when you lower regulation, lower taxes, remove the barriers to business and to capital coming into the markets, we're going to have a situation where things start to boom. Now, I met with a guy yesterday. Had a great meeting yesterday, looking at a piece of property. Real bright guy, and family has done remarkably well in the real estate business. But he struggled as well. We talked about 2007, 2008 time period, and if they hadn't have been very well positioned and very well capitalized and had a particular deal come through at a certain time, right, literally right I mean, it was down to the wire for these guys, and much bigger players than me. They were looking at losing everything. But a deal came through right at the 11th hour, and they were able to secure some capital and stay afloat. Kind of on a much smaller scale, what I went through was the same kind of thing with. But we lost a major anchor tenant in one of our properties that we purchased down on Broad Street, a commercial property, commercial and residential combination building, and we lost that major tenant 6 months after the purchase. This was early 2008, and we hung on as long as we could. And I mean, it certainly would have paid off if we could have hung on to that property. And continue to make those payments and absorb that loss, we would have come out on top, because now that real estate is twice, 2-3 times what we had in it, and could have easily turned that around and done it. But we didn't have the capital infusion that they did at the time, and it just drained everything out of us, and that's what caused the downfall back ultimately in 2010 for me. But come back from that now. But all that to say that we talked about now. Now everything is great and it's booming. So now is the time to just pump whatever you can. It's like what I'm doing with this building here. I'm spending a whole lot of money on this building right now, but it's because we've got the revenue. We've got tenants coming in. We've got a bunch of new tenants, and we're investing in the property. There's some deferred maintenance that occurred because I wasn't here over the past few years. So we're catching up on a lot of that. So our expenses are a little bit heavy right now for this particular property. But we're getting everything in order and getting everything set. And then banking money and maintaining very little debt now, stockpiling money, because the dip is going to come again. It will come again. We will. I mean, we're not going to have this type of favorable favorable business climate forever. The other side will get into power, and they will make changes, and they will want higher taxes and more regulation and blah blah blah, all this, that, and the other. And it will change. It will turn around, and we will see a drop again. The thing is, a drop doesn't have to be catastrophic. A drop is actually an advantage. It's an opportunity, because if you're prepared for that drop, then you can turn around and make investments at that time and snatch up some really good deals when the bottom falls out. If you're overextended and the bottom falls out, that's when you get hammered, and that's where I was at that point back in 2008. And so it's a matter of planning. So when you plan properly and you execute those plans, you have an idea, you have a concept, you have a plan, you want to stick to that plan, move forward, and then you're in a position to capitalize on the opportunities when they present themselves. So it was a great meeting with this guy yesterday. He's got his property that we're looking at, and I've got a lot of research to do, figure out whether or not it's going to be a good deal for us. But it's again just another opportunity, and you don't want to get overextended, and you want to capitalize on, do everything that you can now while stuff is booming, and like I said, more jobs than people. That leads me also into we can have a minimum wage discussion if you want. I'm a firm believer in zero minimum wage. I don't think there should be a minimum wage, and we're seeing that play out right now. We're seeing businesses around here that are having to offer their part-time summer employees. They're having to offer the benefits and higher wages. $10, $12, $15 an hour in some cases, and benefits. A summer job with benefits? Are you kidding me? But that's the free market at work. That's the market saying, look, there are fewer people than jobs, so we've got to entice these people to come in and work for us. my sister, her kids, or well, and your kids too, I'm sure. I mean, they're looking at $30,000-$40,000 a year for college, and if a kid can come out of school for the summer, and get a part-time job that earns them, I don't know, 10, $12 an hour, and they work 20 or 30 hours a week, and they do that for the summer. I mean, what are they gonna net out of that? A few $1,000s. Where they can come out of the summer and take a couple of classes, take a couple of online classes or a couple of classes, at summer school in their field of study, and then maybe cut a year off of their college education time. They cut a year off that college education time. Now you're looking at $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 in some cases that they have saved their parents, because they've taken those classes over the summer and they've graduated a year early. So it doesn't make sense in many cases for your kids to go out and get a part-time job over the summer where they can earn $2 or $3 grand, $5 grand, $10 grand over the summer, even, and at best case scenario. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense for them in many cases not to do that. So what happens in that case now? The teenagers some of them are not even looking for a job over the summer. So we've got this reduction in this part-time summer flexible workforce, and we've got an increase in the economy and the growth in the economy, people hiring, people looking to build their businesses, looking to make capital investments and bring on more people, and they can't find the people to bring in. They can't find enough people to fill the jobs. That's how you end up with 6.7 million available jobs, 6.4 million people to fill those jobs. It's econ 101. So, it's a great time. The economy is we're in a great position from that thing. I don't care what you think about the current administration, but they're doing what they said they were going to do, and it's having the effect that I predicted it was going to have, during the election. And so, we're seeing this incredible growth. I mean, unemployment rate, the lowest that it's ever been. I think 3.9%. They said when I was taking economics. I think it still is. It still is the case today in college. They were 4% was considered frictional unemployment. That was considered full employment. And we're seeing that right now. That's just, frictional unemployment is just people moving from one job to another, or voluntarily taking some time off, or just taking a break, just normal, everyday, average moving around of the people in the economy. So we're essentially at that point now. We're at full employment plus. We've got everywhere you turn, you've got people wanting to hire folks. If you don't have a job, it's because you don't want a job. And the folks that like I saw talk about the college kids, the summer jobs, high school kids, summer jobs, that kind of thing. That was everything. I lived for that when I was in high school. You get out and get a summer job, earn some money. Whether it was cutting grass or shoveling snow, or what, not necessarily snow in the summer, but raking leaves, or doing whatever I could to earn a couple of bucks. It just, in a lot of cases, it doesn't make sense for the parents to have their kids do that. They take a couple of classes, they get a $40,000 or $50,000 break on the cost of their education in the long run. So it's an interesting time, and just be aware that it's going to flip. We are going to go back to a time when the bottom falls out. I'm hearing ads on the radio now, real estate ads. And people are it's the same stuff I was hearing in 2007, 2008. Your house is your bank. You refinance, take some money out, take that vacation, buy that new car or whatever, and that's the same, it's the same kind of stuff we were hearing in 2006, 2007, leading up to the crash. So, we don't learn as a societally. We don't learn from our mistakes. You have to be actively looking for them and watching it, and make decisions that are gonna lead you down the right path. So that's kind of what we're doing here with the property here. Is we're in a boom time right now. We've got almost all of our offices full. Their cash flow is good. We're making a lot of capital investments, spending a lot of money on the building, bringing that up, taking care of some of that deferred maintenance that didn't get done early on, or last few years while I was on the road. But it makes sense. We're going to prepare. We're going to take care of this stuff now while times are good and while things are flowing. And then when the downturn comes, we'll be in a good position. Then we'll be able to go out and snatch up a few deals when the time comes. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share that little nugget with you. The CNBC article. I should have put a link in there to that CNBC article, but maybe I'll do that after we get done here. Drop a link in the description on the YouTube side and in the comments on the Facebook side for that CNBC. That's what it is. CNBC article. Brain fart there for a minute. Anyhow. Hope you guys have a great day. Sorry I missed you yesterday, but like it says on my email signatures and whatnot, live streams just about every day, unless we have a flat tire on the bike and everything blows up and I have a super busy day and I just can't get back in here to do it. So anyway, that's it. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you learned something. Hope it sparks your curiosity and causes you to go out there and do a little research on your own. Get a little smarter every day. Never stop learning. So, as always, thanks so much for watching. Hit the likes on YouTube. Hit the subscription button. Hit the notification bell so you'll know when we go live. On Facebook, we love the hearts. We love the likes. We love the shares. So, hit all that and do it all. And remember, doesn't matter whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. Thanks a bunch. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you soon.